your music legendary. With all the best gear including Fender, Epiphone, Yamaha, and more, CA House will have you rocking in no time. Get the most for your money with everyday low prices. And we meet or beat internet pricing. Play before you buy and let our product specialists help you pick out the instrument that's right for you. CA House Music, supporting local musicians since 1872. Play music for life.
Does your dog need groomed or walked? Are you looking for a pet sitter or dog boarding options? If so, call Dirty Paws, Wheeling's newest pet care service, providing the Ohio Valley with everyone's pet care needs. Check us out on Facebook at Dirty Paws WHG or call 304-639-7754.
Hello, everyone. From the Watchdog, I'm the Storm Tracker Darnell Foster. With a look at your local weather forecast for your Tuesday. Partly to mostly sunny skies. Daytime high of 64 degrees. Overnight low of 41 degrees under partly cloudy conditions. Mix of clouds and sunshine for your Wednesday with a high of 67. Have yourself a great day, everyone. From the Watchdog, I'm Darnell Foster.
The views and opinions expressed on the following program are not necessarily those of this station or its sponsors.
All right, listen up, you guys. Morning. It's Tuesday.
Today is Tuesday. I am loving the sound of your voice.
Good morning, sunshine.
Crank up the radio.
You all ready for the big show?
Happy Tuesday, everybody.
And action. Okay, let's do it. Hey, guys. You ready to let the dogs out?
All right, let's do this.
Yes, we are ready to let the dogs out.
Well, what are we waiting for?
It's showtime.
Conversations you care about with people you know. This is the Watchdog Morning Show with Howard Monroe, brought to you in part by Wheeling Hospital.
46 degrees at the Wheeling, Ohio County Airport. Not much wind blowing around. The official feels like 44. Not a big deal. 46 degrees, Wheeling, Ohio County Airport. 46 here at the home studios. 46 at the Robinson Auto Group Studios, downtown Wheeling, in the heart of the Ohio Valley. Don't have my thermometer in here, but we're okay. The temperature is nice here in my home studio again. Furnace guy came and fixed the furnace yesterday. But Biffy, you know, they always, as always, he says, I got it fixed for you, but you know you need a new one, right?
Yeah.
They never come and just fix it and say, hey, this will be fine. So he came and said, yeah, okay, I got it fixed for you, but you really should get a new one. I'll have our sales guy get in touch with you. It's like, okay, all right. If I need a new one, I need a new one. But somehow the fact that you fixed this one and I'm nice and warm and toasty now, I think, means I'm okay. But anyways, got the furnace fixed, so that was good. I was able to sleep in the bedroom again last night instead of in the living room with the space heater. So there you go. That's I don't have I guess I must got rid of the temperature gauge here. We were 30 in this room yesterday. I assume it's a lot warmer than it is right now. 7-Eleven here on the Watchdog Morning Show. You know, Biffy, we didn't celebrate it yesterday, and we should have, and I feel bad. Yesterday was International Women's Day, and you probably saw on Facebook and TV did a lot of salutes to women, and just all over the place. It was a salute to women. Burger King had their own salute to women on Twitter. And as so often happens, it went a little awry. International Women's Day yesterday, Burger King started their day by tweeting out, "Women belong in the kitchen." That did not sit well with a lot of people. Now, apparently this was like a teaser. And then later in the day, they said, if they want to, only 20% of chefs are women, and we're on a mission to change the gender ratio. In other words, the point of this was, at Burger King, we're going to try to get more of our chefs to be women. But they didn't say that to begin with. The first thing was, just standing alone all by itself, women belong in the kitchen. Now, in some ways, that's simply a good tease. It's a tease. And teases are good. Other people called it clickbait. And I guess that's true as well. One person tweeted out, "Please don't use sexism as clickbait." And then a lot of the trolls came out in force going after people who had problems with the tweet, and it just became a mess. And Burger King finally, during the course of the day, at first they began to try to defend the tweet. No, it was meant to say that women should be equal with men in terms of being chefs. That's the point we were trying to make. You're misunderstanding us. Then eventually, because you cannot beat back those Twitter folks, Biffy, you just can't beat it back. You just can't do it.
Nope.
Eventually, they tweeted an apology. They said, "We hear you. We got it wrong. We're sorry." And they just deleted the whole tweet and walked away from it. So, probably if they had asked me, I would have told them, "I don't think this is going to work for you. Women belong in the kitchen." It was neat. It was clever. Smack them in the eye, get people's attention. And it did. But too many people. That Twitter world. I spend a lot of time on Twitter. In fact, I spend more time on Twitter, I think, now than I do on Facebook. So I want to say, who are these people who spend time on Twitter? There are more trolls, I think, on Twitter than there are on Facebook. Do you tweet? You have a Twitter account, Biff, but do you pay much attention to Twitter?
I would say I pay much more attention to Twitter than I do Facebook.
Do you really? Okay. All right.
Yeah.
I find myself doing that now more and more and more. I really have kind of become more of a Twitter guy than a Facebook guy. I don't know why. It just seems that's the way things have been changing a little bit. But there's an awful lot of toxic people out there on Twitter. Just a lot of toxic people out there on Twitter. Nothing can go unchallenged. No simple, easy, little, pleasant statement on Twitter can go unchallenged. And Burger King learned that yesterday. I suppose we should talk about the most important story of the week for a minute or two. We know what that was, Biffy, right?
Yeah.
Harry and Meghan.
Yes, it was.
A show that neither you nor I bothered to watch. How could we do that? We missed the most important story of the week, but we did somehow. You and I, we are not up to speed on what everybody else is talking about, I guess. I invited our old friend Victoria Jones to come on and join me today because Victoria's our royal watcher. She pays a lot of attention to this, and I talked to her yesterday, and she said, "Oh, yes, I've been watching everything. I watch it all. There's so much to talk about." But she has a doctor's appointment today, so she'll be with us tomorrow to get a former Brit's analysis of the Meghan and Harry interview and also some of the things going on with the royal family in general. Not so much because I care, but because sometimes I feel like I got to check the box, Meghan and Harry interview, everybody's talking about it, got to check it off. Interesting poll came out yesterday, though, on this interview that was done by Oprah, which aired, Sunday night. There's a real different perspective on that interview in America as opposed to in Great Britain. 2,100 Americans were surveyed. 44% of the Americans thought it was appropriate for Harry and Meghan to do the interview. 20% thought it was not appropriate. But if you look at a similar poll done in Great Britain, 47% said it was inappropriate. Literally the exact opposite. In Great Britain, the majority of the people surveyed said it was not appropriate for them to do the interview. Only 21% called it appropriate. Americans were twice as likely as Brits to sympathize with Harry and Meghan, sympathize with them over the royal family, 47% to 23%. But in Great Britain, the opposite again. Only 29% had a fair amount of sympathy for Harry and Meghan, 45%. Although in Great Britain, 45% said that they don't have a lot of sympathy for the royal family either. Man, they're really conflicted. We don't like the royal family, but we don't want anybody criticizing them. I guess it's like they're our royal family, and we can say bad things about them, but we don't want other people to say bad things about them. I guess that's what it was. Anyway, I thought that was interesting. In Great Britain, they are less sympathetic to Harry and Meghan. In America, we are more sympathetic. I had to laugh. I saw a Facebook meme yesterday. Actually, it might have been a Twitter comment. It said, Oprah Winfrey woke up one morning and said, I think I'll destroy the monarchy. and then went to get an interview with Harry and Meghan. So, all right, let's see what else I have with this poll. Anything else? 58% of Americans believe that race played a role in how Meghan was treated by the royal family. 61% believe that race affected how she was treated by the British press. If you care. Do you care, Biff?
Not at all.
Okay, just checking. Honestly, me neither. But I'm not done with it. I'm done for today. We'll talk about it again tomorrow. Victoria's going to join us, and maybe she'll bring a different perspective, something new and different to the table on that. So we'll talk more about it tomorrow. 7:18 here on the Watchdog Morning Show. Coming up in just a minute, we'll take a look at what it is that we can do if you are vaccinated in society now. The CDC offered some guidance on how those of us who are already vaccinated can begin to rejoin society. We will take a look at that. Governor Justice is railing against the federal guidelines because the new COVID bill has some pretty strict restrictions on how that money can be used, and it is very likely to keep the governor from using the federal money to fill up his buckets that he's been wanting to fill up to have money in reserve when his income tax plan fails. Now, he doesn't phrase it quite that way, but that's kind of the way I think we're looking at that. We'll go get into that coming up in a bit. The governor, of course, is touting his reduced income tax as an incentive for people to move to West Virginia. A group of Democratic legislators yesterday outlined some plans they think are better at keeping and attracting young people to the state. And essentially, they don't come because of income tax. They come because of jobs and quality of life issues, which I think is absolutely true. We'll talk with the Senate Minority Leader, Stephen Baldwin, about that coming up a little bit later on. The COVID relief bill, close to becoming law. Our D.C. correspondent Tom Squitieri is in. We'll look at what's in that COVID relief bill and what is it the GOP is objecting to. Got a couple of local stories we ought to tackle today. Wheeling University placed on probation. Controversy over the Ohio County resource deputies in the school systems contract is still continuing. And I-70 traffic patterns are going to be changing once again. We'll talk about that. Senator Manchin remains firmly opposed to eliminating the filibuster, but he is open to making the filibuster harder. In fact, Senator Manchin is taking an approach that I have taken for the last several years on the filibuster. So we'll talk about all of that. I got all that coming up for you. You have something on your mind you want to talk about, 304-214-1600, 304-214-1600. That is the Watchdog Radio Network text line. If you are watching us on Facebook Live video, thank you very much for doing so. I appreciate it. We are on my Facebook page and on the Watchdogs Facebook page. So you can just watch us anytime during the course of the morning if you'd like to. When the show is over, you can always find us on our YouTube channel, the archived video of our shows on the YouTube channel. And you can get to the YouTube channel and you can directly watch the video feed by going to watchdognetwork.com. So various ways to watch our video feed if you would like to do that. And if you do watch the video feed, I always ask you to do two things. Hit the like button and hit the share button. Share the video feed with your timeline on your news feed, in any of your social groups that you're on, Facebook groups and so on, just so more and more people are able to take part in the Watchdog Morning Show. So what can we as vaccinated people do, and what can't we do in society as we begin to move forward? We'll take a look at the latest CDC guidelines on that coming up next here on the Watchdog Morning Show. 7:21 after the hour and 44 degrees.
Wake up to the Ohio Valley's favorite morning.
prepare for what's ahead. Watch the Storm Tracker 7 Weather Team with Zach Petty, Aaron Myler, and me, Dr. Dave Walker. Weather coverage you can count on, working for you.
For all of your IT needs, visit OmniPerforms.com. Omni Strategic Technologies, the only IT company that the Watchdog trusts. From the Watchdog Network, right now traffic. Here's the latest from the Robinson Auto Group Traffic Center.
Traffic near the Highlands, on Washington Avenue, and on the Fort Henry Bridge is all clear. Traffic near the Ohio Valley Mall, on 70 and 470, and on State Route 7 is running smoothly. The lane width reductions on the eastbound entrance ramp and westbound exit ramp to Wheeling Island will continue. The closure of I-70 from US 250 and West Virginia 2 South, the 16th Street exit to the Ogilvy Park exit for Phase 2 of the Fulton Bridge Replacement Project will continue. The closure of the US 250 North on-ramp to I-70 East as part of Phase 2 will continue. The intermittent McCulloch Street daytime closures will continue. The left lane closure on I-70 westbound from approximately the Route 40 on-ramp to just past the US 250 southbound off-ramp will continue. The Market Street overpass width reduction will continue. I-70 construction will continue westbound where crossovers are in effect. And all existing detours and closures will continue for the I-70 Bridges project. Follow Ohio Valley Traffic Report on Facebook, WTRF 7 News, and the Watchdog for updates.
Powhatan Point. The Watchdog is protecting your yard. Join Howard Monroe, Hoppy Kercheval, Bill DeFabio, and Big Rick for the best live and local talk in the Upper Ohio Valley and beyond. Powhatan Point trusts the Watchdog.
Miss a part of the show? Want to hear a segment again? Check out our podcast page at watchdognetwork.com. The Watchdog Morning Show with Howard Monroe continues.
I'm going to look for a partly cloudy day today. Daytime high around 61. That's nice and warm. Sounds good. Tomorrow, stay in the 60s and go up a bit more. High tomorrow around 65. Thursday, going to stay in the 60s again, but some rain could come in on Thursday afternoon. Stay with us into the evening on Thursday. Currently 44 degrees at the Wheeling, Ohio County Airport. 44 degrees at the Robinson Auto Group Studios, downtown Wheeling, in the heart of the Ohio Valley. More and more of us are getting vaccinated with the COVID vaccine. I see every day on Facebook and Twitter people proudly and excitedly saying they have been vaccinated. The frustration level we had about a month or so ago has gone down a lot. Not all the way. A lot of people are still wondering when they're going to get their shots, but it does seem as if the frustration level has gone down some. Still, I think it's only about, what's the number of Biffies nationwide? About 12%, I think, of people are vaccinated nationwide totally.
Yeah, it's in double digits. I know that, or double figures.
Yeah, I mean, we're making good progress, but it's still, we've got a long way to go. And before we really get to, quote, normal, whatever normal is going to be, we need to develop that herd immunity, which means huge number of us have to be vaccinated. So we're not back to normal. However, the CDC yesterday issued some guidelines on, and we talked about this last week with Dr. Milton, what can you do if you have been vaccinated? How safe and secure should you be? Specifically, they suggested that if you want to get together in a small group, family group or friends or what have you, with others who have been vaccinated, repeat that, with others who have been vaccinated, that's okay. You don't need a mask. You don't need social distancing. You can have a little party at your house as long as everybody involved has already been vaccinated. Come on in and have a good time. The guidelines also say fully vaccinated people do not need to quarantine nor take a COVID-19 test if they've been exposed. If you have been exposed, to COVID-19, you do not need to go get another test because you've got the vaccine, and either you won't get it, or if you do get it, you'll get minimal conditions. So you don't have to quarantine, you don't have to take a test if you've been exposed to COVID-19, unless you are symptomatic, unless you're going to show symptoms of that. So you can, CDC Director Dr. Rachel Walensky said, you can visit your grandparents if you've been vaccinated and they have been too. And that's where a lot of people are getting excited to be able to see their elderly family members again. If grandparents have been vaccinated, they can visit their daughter and her family, even if they have not been vaccinated, if the family hasn't been, provided that the daughter and the family are not at risk for severe disease. So if there's the grandparent or the elderly person who has been vaccinated, you can visit them as long as you are not susceptible to COVID. So these are good news. We're getting back somewhat to normal. Now, if you've been vaccinated, you still should wear a mask and still should social distance when you go into public settings. And they still say stay away from large-sized or medium-sized gatherings. But at least this is a start. So if you want to have a little party, a little get-together, a little, whatever, family meal, something, if everybody has been vaccinated, go for it. No problems, no masks, no social distancing. If you are not particularly susceptible to COVID, in other words, if you're not in the age category, you don't have any particular medical issues, you can visit with others who have been vaccinated without any great fear as well. So this is, it's a start, Beth. It's a start.
Hey, we got to start somewhere.
So we're beginning to be able to walk back to something that is not normal, but gets closer and closer to normal. So everybody in my family has now been vaccinated, with the exception of my poor daughter-in-law. I think I mentioned this yesterday. Natalie has not yet been able to get vaccinated. Nancy and I are vaccinated because of our age. My kids are vaccinated because of they work in the healthcare field. Natalie's she's out there all alone. Can I please get vaccinated? But she's not particularly susceptible. So we've been gathering together and not worrying too much about it. So this is good stuff. These are things that we can do according to the CDC yesterday. I was involved with a meeting last night, which we've been having via Zoom for the past year, I guess. And we began saying, okay, we think in the next month or two we took a quick poll of everybody at the meeting, everybody had been vaccinated. Said, you know what, the next month or so the next month's meeting, maybe we can all get together. So this is good news. This is good news. One thing that has gone by the wayside, I guess, Biffy, because of the pandemic is the kiss cam. They're getting rid of the kiss cam in most ballparks. I have not seen this, but there are some, the Milwaukee Bucks in particular, I guess, are using the hand sanitizer cam. Have you seen this?
I have not.
Apparently, the camera scans the crowds, and it looks for people who are spraying each other with hand sanitizer. I haven't seen it, but the story I'm looking at here says, which looks like it's spraying people with sanitizer. Or if you're a pervert, it looks like something else entirely.
Of course.
I don't even know that I want to think about what that might be.
We had to go the childish route, I see.
Absolutely. Well, and why not? And why not? I don't know if you remember this. A few little sidelights of the COVID story. There was a video that went viral. We talked about it at the time. In San Diego, a woman just really screamed and hollered at a Starbucks employee because the employee refused to serve her when she wouldn't wear a mask. Ma'am, you got to put a mask on. I will not put a mask on. You cannot steal my freedoms. And just really beat up on this guy. Not literally, but, figuratively. And someone started a GoFundMe campaign to help the Starbucks employees. Like, yes, poor guy took a lot of heat here. So they started a GoFundMe campaign. And so far, this guy's got $105,000 in his GoFundMe campaign for getting yelled at.
It's pretty good.
I get yelled at every day on my look here on my screen here on my text messages. I get yelled at every day. Not to mention my wife yelling at me a good bit too. So I'm thinking, if somebody wants to start a GoFundMe campaign because I've been yelled at, feel free to do so. I would like the money. But that's not the story I want to share. So that's interesting. So he's got $105,000 in his GoFundMe campaign. Here's the interesting part. The woman who was yelling at this guy at Starbucks, the woman who was berating him, she is now suing him for violation of her right to privacy and misappropriation of her name and likeness. She berated him up one side and down the other because of freedom. And as a result, he received a great deal of sympathy and now some money, and now she wants a chunk of it. So now she is suing for violation of her right to privacy and misappropriation of her name and likeness. You know, I don't have any idea where this will go. If she were to be successful with this, do you know how many people could start to sue Biffy? I mean, all of these...
open the floodgates.
All of these little home videos that show up when people act stupid because of the masks and so on. I mean, if that's misappropriation of name and likeness or violation of right to privacy, I mean...
Open the floodgates.
Absolutely right. Absolutely right. So we'll see how that whole thing plays out. What else have I got here for these COVID stories? Some people who've gotten the COVID vaccine are now dealing with vaccine guilt, where they feel bad they've gotten it before other people. Yeah, I didn't have that. Didn't have that. I was just glad to get it. Sorry, didn't have vaccine guilt. A bar in Fort Lauderdale is trying to avoid huge super spreader crowds during spring break by only letting in people with out-of-state IDs who are over the age of 23. I don't know how that's going to keep... That's exactly the kind of people who go to spring break, right?
Yeah, young people.
Yeah, so I'm not sure what that's going to do, but that's what they're doing. And let me see. New daily cases of COVID in the United States, 41,967 yesterday. 716 new deaths in America. Total cases in this country since we began, literally a year ago. I guess it was almost exactly a year ago. 29.6 million cases, 537,000 deaths. More than 20 million have recovered now. So there you go. That's just some COVID stuff I thought I'd share with you. Okay. All right. It's 7:37, 23 till the hour. Where's Zach today? Do you know?
I don't know. Maybe he got sick yesterday because he wasn't. He didn't sound too good when he called in, and I think he was starting to get sick early in the morning, and then I'm thinking it kind of got worse as the day went on.
Could be. Aaron Myler is with us this morning from the Big 7. He'll be in a minute or two to talk about Ohio Valley weather. It's going to be a couple of really nice warm days. That sounds good. I look for some rain in a couple of days, but not today. Just kind of cloudy and nice and warm today. We'll get the full forecast from Aaron coming up in a minute, but first, let's get some headlines from the Big 7. Steven's here right now.
The WTRF Channel 7 News Update is brought to you by...
the New York Rangers. In this division matchup, the Penguins are 14-9-1. In their last 10 games, Pittsburgh 7-3-0. The captain, Sid Crosby, leads the team with 8 goals, 14 assists for 22 points. In his last 10 games, Chris Letang has 5 goals. Newly acquired defenseman Mark Friedman, he's been placed on the injured reserve list with an upper body injury. Well, following an off day Monday, the Buccos are back in action in sunny Florida when they play Atlanta this afternoon. College basketball note, West Virginia, with their recent loss to Oklahoma State, drops to number 10 overall. Speaking of Oklahoma State, the two teams will play in the Big 12 tournament starting Thursday. They will face each other again. NFL note, if you're sitting down, quarterback Dak Prescott has a brand new deal, and it's the best in Dallas Cowboy franchise. 4 years, $160 million, $126 million guaranteed. Are you kidding me? Hey, be safe out there. Be considerate of others. Please check on the elderly. I'm Bill DeFabio on sports, and we are the Watchdog.
Tune in to the Watchdog Morning Show with Howard Monroe, weekday mornings 7 to 10 a.m. on the Valley's favorite live and local talk radio station, the Watchdog.
It's been almost a year since high school basketball action's been on the Watchdog Network. But Tuesday, March 9th, it's back. AM 1600 WKKX, the Weirton Red Riders come to East Wheeling to take on the Wheeling Central Maroon Knights. And on AM 1370 WVLY, John Marshall travels to Wheeling Park High School to take on the Patriots. You can also listen online at watchdognetwork.com.
From the West Virginia Broadcasting Hall of Fame, directly to you. This is the Watchdog Morning Show with Howard Monroe, brought to you in part by Wheeling Hospital.
What are some of the top consumer complaints the Attorney General's office has been getting from the Northern Panhandle? I'll share Patrick Morrissey's list with you coming up in a minute or two, and we'll see if these are the things that are bugging you. These are the kinds of scams and consumer issues that cross your phone or your email. We'll get to that coming up in a minute or two. Let's talk about the weather right now. And to help us do that, Aaron Myler is here. Good morning, Aaron.
Good morning. How are you?
Where's our buddy Zach? Did he oversleep today or what?
Yeah, I think he's just lazy. I don't think he's feeling well.
Aaron, that came out so quickly and so easily. I think it was in the back of your mind. I think he's just lazy.
He's probably listening right now, and he's like, oh, I hate that kid.
He is a little bit under the weather, I guess, huh?
Yeah, I think he thought he might have something, so he's just trying to be cautious and safe, which everyone should do. So,
yeah,
it's going to be a great day for it, though.
Good for him, and that way he keeps you all safe as well if he's got the flu or anything else. So that's good. That's good. And then you get a little extra weather time.
Oh yeah, it's fun. I don't mind. It's going to be a nice day too. So it's nice when the job is not like, oh, terrible things are happening.
So, yeah, we've got another very warm one. Not another one. Yesterday, what was the high yesterday? Do you know by any chance?
Give me 2 seconds. I can look it up for you. It was pretty nice though yesterday.
It was very nice, but I was outside with my 5-year-old grandson, and we played outside a lot. Because of the wind, it was chilly. You had to stay in the sun for it to feel really warm.
I was outside for hours yesterday because I was trying to enjoy it. But yeah, you had to sit like in the sun specifically. We got up to 56 yesterday.
Okay, that sounds about right. When the wind was blowing, it was a little nippy. So
100%.
But it was at least a good outdoor day. It's going to get even warmer today, though, right?
Yeah, we're up to 61. I think could even get a little bit higher than that, but I would rather err on the side of caution and not overpromise because it's going to be there's going to be some clouds out there unlike yesterday, so that's going to be the main difference. A little bit warm, but there will be a few clouds in the sky as well.
But those clouds will not be rain clouds. We're not looking for any precipitation, so it's just going to be sort of an overcast but nice warm day today. So it's It's going to be just like partly cloudy, so not terrible. It's going to be like you'll have clouds at times, sun at times, but I mean, I'm planning on being outside for the rest of the day after this. What do you like to do? You take a walk, or do you do?
Yeah, I will like take a walk. Like I live near I live on Main Street, so I'm not far from the trail right there. So I'll walk on that trail along the river, or just like a glass of white wine in my backyard.
I cannot quarrel with that. I think that makes a lot of sense. That sounds good. Well, if you're just looking for companionship as someone to chat with, just call Biff or I. We can come down and drink some wine too.
Perfect.
Just letting you know. I mean, we're always happy to drink some wine and look at the river go by. I like that. So
you guys are on the same road as me, so not too far.
You're a trail walker, huh?
Yeah, I live the Riverwalk trail is just so convenient. So whenever it's nice, I was doing it in the fall. I'll just go to the Riverwalk, and then I live on North Main, so it's farther away. But I'll go on the walk and then walk the whole way into the town, down towards Heritage Port, and then I'll just come back 'cause it's nice. Except for when they find bodies down there.
Yeah, that's not so good when they find the bodies.
No, not that time. Just the nice days.
But that's good. All right. Now we've got another good day tomorrow, pretty much the same as today, maybe a little bit warmer. Then we've got some rain coming in later in the week, right?
Yeah. So tomorrow it's going to start off clear, and then we'll have clouds building in throughout the day. And then on Thursday we're going to see more cloudy, but we'll have rain starting in the afternoon and evening hours, and sticking around overnight, and then it'll taper off Friday around noon, and then just be left with a cloudy day otherwise on Friday. So it's Thursday afternoon to Friday around noon, we'll have some chances for rain in there. But it's not going to be anything crazy.
And what's the weekend look like for us?
The weekend's kind of going to look like today, but colder. So we'll still have it'll be partly cloudy, so we'll still have clouds in the sky, but see the sun, and then there's high temps in the, it's 47 on Saturday and 46 on Sunday, which 46 is our normal high temperature for this time of year. So, I mean, we're just getting back down to where we should be.
All right, sounds good. And then looking at, I haven't looked at the 7-day. Looking ahead to next week, do we know what we're looking at next week or not? What do we expect?
Looking at temperatures, they should not be as warm as they are today, unfortunately. So probably around seasonal, so in the mid to upper 40s. And then there's a chance for rain on Monday, but 7 days out still. I'm not it's just a chance, so that could very easily just kind of dissipate.
All right. And we are, because I can see the countdown on the WTF TV website every day. I think we're 10 days away from the start of spring now, right?
Yeah, the 20th. So, yeah, we're just coming up on it. I'm ready for it. If you ask Zach, make sure you ask him about meteorological spring, because that started, I think, on March 1st, and he really loves it.
I know. We actually discussed that. It was I don't feel like this is actually spring, Zach. But I guess we all have those things that define the start of spring for us, and Zach likes meteorological spring. Everybody has something that we consider to be the start of spring. What defines the start of spring for you? Not necessarily a date on the calendar, Aaron, but when do you feel this is spring?
I feel like this week has felt like spring just for the fact that it's been, I feel like once it gets sunny and a little bit warmer, but when I think of spring in my head, I think of flowers, even though we don't have flowers starting yet.
But I noticed in our front yard yesterday, my wife noticed, I should say, just a little tiny green shoot coming up in our front lawn garden area. So something
nice.
Must be getting ready to come up. So I guess that's a good thing. That's a good
thing.
Some
bulbs or something.
Yeah. Some people say the first robin is a sign of spring, I guess. Although Governor Justice says one robin does not a spring make. I don't know what he's tried to say there, but then again, I don't know what he's trying to say most of the time. So,
he said something funny. I don't know if it was recently said it or it was file footage, but there was something really entertaining he said today that I saw on the news, and I was I love that.
What was it? Do you remember?
I have absolutely no clue. I just remember it made me laugh.
Yeah, I laugh at him a lot. I'll just leave it there. I laugh at him. I laugh at him a lot. Now, he has a very clever way of speaking. Sometimes I get a little tired of it because it's but I think he's honest about it. He's just a folksy, talking kind of guy. I don't think it's contrived. I think it really is the way he talks. But sometimes, Biffy, right? Sometimes you just sort of feel oh, come on. Stop the aw shucks attitude, right, Biffy?
Yeah, or you feel sometimes you need the interpreter to figure out what he's saying.
That's true, too. That's exactly right. Here's one thing I know. He believes in goodness. Goodness for the state. All I care about is goodness.
And
at the end of the rainbow, Hoppet. At the end of the rainbow, there's goodness in West Virginia. It's my Jim Justice impression. All right, Aaron. Well, I guess we don't know if we'll talk to you tomorrow or not, huh? We'll see how Zach's feeling. Hope he feels well. And
yeah, he said he's feeling a little bit better already, so that's good.
All right, well, perhaps we'll talk to you tomorrow, and if not, we'll talk to you when the next time you join us. But thanks for being here.
Whenever that is.
I appreciate it. Exactly. Yeah. Thanks a lot.
Have a good one.
Aaron Myler from the Big 7, WTRF TV. Zach is, well, not there. Under the weather, apparently. So it looks like you called it right, Biffy. You called it right. He was.
Yeah, when
said you could. I couldn't tell that yesterday, but you could tell he had a little cold or something, huh?
Yeah, something was. He didn't sound, like he normally does, and I think it might have been a sore throat or cold or something. Sounded like it was beginning.
9 before the hour here on the Watchdog Morning Show, 44 degrees. Let me just double check that, see if we've changed it all here in the early morning hours. Yeah, we have actually. 46 degrees now, 46 degrees at the Wheeling, Ohio County Airport under partly cloudy skies. 46 at the airport, 46 here at my home studios, 46 at the Robinson Auto Group Studios, downtown Wheeling, in the heart of the Ohio Valley. You heard a little discussion about it earlier with Steve from St. C on one of our promos. Biffy, it's back. West Virginia basketball is back tonight here on the Watchdog, right?
Yes, it is, and we have a game on each station tonight. We have Weirton at Wheeling Central on 1698.1 and over on 1370 and 97.7. John Marshall making the trip to Wheeling Park.
All right, a couple of good games for you. We'll have them for you. Just tune in to the radio at AM 1370, FM 97.7, or AM 1600. You can also listen to TuneIn Radio. That's a simple and easy way to listen on your smartphone or tablet. You can go to our website, watchdognetwork.com. You can listen that way. And just catch some good games for you. But it's nice. And last week we had the MEC. It is nice to have sports back again,
And again, just another little part of that, getting back to routine and some sense of normalcy.
Yep, just it's step by step, little by little, bit by bit, and it's kind of exciting. Today at noon, lunch with books at the Ohio County Public Library. Of course, we're not yet ready to go back to go into the library. That may be coming soon. Who knows? I don't know. But the Lunch with Books program is the signature series from the Ohio County Library, and it's always fun stuff. I know lots and lots of people who make it a regular routine of theirs, or did before the pandemic sent them home. Now it's all done on Facebook or on YouTube, the Ohio County Library's Facebook or YouTube channel. The Wheeling Poetry Series continues today at Lunch with Books at noon today. Cameron Barnett is a poet and teacher in Pittsburgh who will be reading some of his works for you at the library today. So the Wheeling Poetry Series continues today. And next Tuesday's the 16th, right?
Next Tuesday is the 16th, yes.
It'll be their St. Patrick's Day edition of Lunch with Books, A History of Ireland in Song and Poetry. So that'll be kind of fun, too. That's next week at the Ohio County Library's Lunch with Books program, History of Ireland in Songs and Poetry. Always good stuff. If you have some time today, around noon, you want to check it out, just go to the Facebook page of the Ohio County Library or their YouTube channel. Today, it's the Wheeling Poetry Series, and you want to check that out. 6 before the hour on the Watchdog Morning Show. I always ask you around this time, Biff, do I have to do a break?
You are good.
I'm good.
Yes.
I'm sure I'll get a text people saying, what makes you think he's any good? Now, I think what Biff means is I don't have to take a break. He wasn't offering a comment on whether I'm good or not. Top consumer complaints from northern West Virginia, including our panhandle. This comes to me in a list from my good friend, the Attorney General of the state, Patrick Morrissey. Biffy, what would you guess are some of the things that citizens of the northern panhandle are complaining about in terms of consumer complaints? What kinds of things are they complaining about?
Car warranty calls on the cell phone.
You know, it's funny because that to me is number one. And it's not on the list of the top 10 things he's got here. That's the one thing that everybody I know, every single person I know, gets 2 or 3 car warranty calls every single day. Every day! Including me. I don't, that's not on the list though. No. Want to take another shot? What else?
I'm going to say now, COVID scams.
COVID scams are a good one. Yeah, general scams is up there.
Yeah.
The number one consumer complaint category is internet services. And I guess that's not so much a scam as it is, I think people complain about their internet's not good, right?
Yeah, I think, or the speed.
Yeah, exactly. Frontier is down or Verizon is down, and why don't they do a better job with this? So the number one consumer complaint category from this part of the state is internet services. Number 2, which I guess probably does fall into scams, is roofing. And I do know a lot, people go around and sort of just knock on your door and say, hey, I think your roof needs some work done. You want to do a new roof for you? And, oh, yes, I thank you. I need my new roof. That's my elderly person's voice there. Because it's usually an elderly person. Yes, thank you for fixing my roof. And the guy will take your money up front and then not come back and do it. So roofing scams are number 2. Cable TV concerns are number 5 on the list. Cell phone devices and services. Home repairs, number 8. I don't know what that means exactly, home repairs. Do business with a reputable service and you're okay on that, I think.
Is that, is that like your air conditioner, furnace, things like that?
Well, could be. Certainly I've had the furnace problems lately, but, and it is, I said earlier, I don't blame them. Look, I've been in the sales business too. Whenever whenever I have to have someone come into the house to fix something, I always know they're going to tell me I need a new one. I don't care what it is. Oh, I think you better get a new one, right? I mean, that's just the way it is. So they came to fix our furnace yesterday. Very nice fella. A reputable company. Done business with them before. Got here quickly. I really appreciated that. Placed a call early in the morning, and they said, okay, would it be okay if we get there tomorrow, maybe, or Thursday? It's like, I got no heat. I would like you here today. Okay, we'll rearrange things. And came out exceedingly nice, exceedingly polite, fixed it very quickly, explained in great detail, what had gone wrong and how he fixed it. And then, of course, he goes, it's a pretty old furnace. I think you have some potential problems here. You probably ought to have a brand new one. Why don't I send our sales guy out? And actually, I said, that's fine. Okay, because our furnace is very old. Maybe we do need a new one. But I know anytime somebody comes to the house to do some repair work of some kind, it's going to cost me more than that day's repair work. You know what I'm saying, Biffy?
Oh, yeah, it always does.
It always does. So those are some of the consumer complaints that Patrick Morrissey says he's been collecting from the Panhandle over the past year or so. All right, it's 8 o'clock. Coming up next hour after ABC News, we'll talk to Tom Squitieri about the COVID relief bill. I'm just wondering how long we'll have barriers and police and so on duty in the nation's capital. Tom and I will talk about that. And the West Virginia Senate Minority Leader, Stephen Baldwin, going to join us to talk about keeping young people in the area. It's all coming up next hour on the Watchdog Morning Show.
The Watchdog is FM 98.1, AM 1600 WKKX Wheeling, FM 97.7, AM 1370 WVLY Moundsville.
The ABC News is brought to you by Thomas Auto Centers, Mall Road, St. Clairsville. Get the best deal at Thomas Auto Centers.
COVID, President Biden is preparing to speak to the nation on...
We're getting by. I feel like we've got good stuff, but just have no energy today, Biffy. I don't know what that is. Yeah, I mean, I didn't have, I always like to find something really good to start us off with that I can rant about. And I couldn't get into Burger King. I thought maybe I could, and then I started saying, I don't care about this. So, all right. Squiddy next. Stephen Baldwin will call about 8:40. I keep trying to get, nobody can do 9:10. I hate to do these 8:40s. I hate it. I like to keep it open. But once I've got 8:10 scheduled, it's either one guest or I have to do 8:40, especially with the legislature. Nobody can do 9:10 anymore because there's always something going on out in Charleston. So we'll live with that. It's good. I'm just glad I got him to come on. All right, I'm going to go see if Teddy's here yet, and I'll be back in a few minutes.